Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing an extra session at home. I have my setup here, so let me just show you the setup real quick. Just a bench. I got a bike over here. Let me just give you guys a look at the setup real quick. So this is my bench. I have this table here for mostly to decompress your spine, but I haven't used it much. It's been just lying down. Looks nice. Feels nice. I mean, when I use it, but I don't use it too often. Bike here for cardio. Right now, cutting. Switched up from doing the bike to steps. Trying to go even lower intensity. So haven't used the bike for a while. Got the sauna. Got the ice bath. I don't use them much. I'm gonna start probably using them again. Not the best for muscle gains, by the way, but for relaxation and other benefits for sure. Pull-up bar, and yeah, got a fireplace here. That's about it. That's the setup, guys. I got a yoga mat here behind me, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, pretty good. So yeah, pretty basic setup, but really helpful. I have a few other tools, and maybe I'll get to use them today. So today is a supplementary session. It's just an extra session I'd like to do to target some of the neglected muscles, right? So I don't do this often, especially now that I'm cutting, but why not? Hey, let's try to get some forearms and calves, maybe traps. I haven't done triceps this week. I usually do it, but this week was a deload week, so maybe I'll get some few triceps sets. And I've been getting some questions, so maybe I'll do like a Q&A format while I work out. I'll just address some of the common questions I get from people online or people I train. So we'll go through some of the questions, and yeah, I'm gonna start with doing some triceps. Oh, and I have those fat grips. I've had them for, I think those fat grips I bought them back in like 2008, something like that. It's been like decades at least, maybe 2010. So it's been a long time I've had those fat grips. Hey, they last a long time. I use them on and off when I was more focused on forearms and the grip strength. Definitely used them regularly. Nowadays, I'm mostly bodybuilding. Just care about the. I just focus on vanity muscles. So I haven't used them much. But hey, let's give them a shot. We can even do triceps with them and see how they feel. I got the kettlebells here. This is 20 pounds. So lightweight. Again, I'm not really trying to go heavy, especially when I'm cutting. Oh man, these fat grips are so hard to pull apart. And yeah, like everything else, my grip strength is not close to where it was when I used to train grip regularly. Like everything else, it's like use it or lose it, right? Oh yeah, this is a strap I had also from very long time. Really high quality, lasted a very long time. Flex Solate. Yeah, I used to use this just to get the grip out of the movement and isolate. Maybe we can do some, I've seen some arm wrestlers do these kind of workouts for grip. Maybe we can try that. Let's give it a shot later today. And just bear with me here, guys. Oh my lord. Struggle is real, guys. These fat grips. Okay, so we have them on. Just need to twist them. Make sure the bottom is in the open part. The open part is at the top. And now let's try some triceps using those fat grips. Again, not much benefit you're getting from, I mean, you're not getting much benefit doing triceps with fat grips. Some say it feels better because you're gripping it wider. Anyways, not much form you're getting while you're doing triceps, that's for sure. Feels decent though. just gonna go for sets of 12. Just a light workout, not trying to really push it. But yeah, guys, I'm doing a competition soon, so I'm 2 months out, and just trying to preserve some muscle, especially now calories are lower. Feels really good. I recommend fat grips for sure if you want to focus on the grip. And we can superset. Let me try this movement. So this is one movement, just a wrist curl. Shit, actually feels awkward with the fat grip doing a wrist curl because you need to rotate a bit. So maybe what we can do is superset the triceps with just regular bicep work with the fat grips, and that should make a difference. Yeah, definitely much harder on the forearms here. You can even do it this way with the hammer grip. Yeah, so let's get to some of the questions I've been getting. First question I have here, I'm just reading off a sheet. What is your split? So, guys, my current split is 5 days a week, and 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. So basically, I have 4 days where I'm hitting different muscles, and then I'm repeating for the extra day a week. So my split is legs for day 1, back day 2, day 3 is off, day 4 chest shoulders, day 5 arms, day 6 off, and then day 7 repeats. Now what this means is that you're getting to hit the muscle groups every 6 days. So some of the weeks you'll end up doing chest and shoulders day twice in a week. Other weeks you'll get to do arms twice, and then legs twice, and then back twice, and then a standard week everything just gets hit once, I think. Yeah, because some of the week you'll get like anyways, you get my point. So guys, do the calculations, you'll figure it out. But yeah, so this is my split. My split changed a lot during my workout life, but right now I feel like I need those rest days definitely. And even if I wasn't cutting, I wouldn't go back to any higher number of days. I tried everything. I tried going lower number of days, higher days, more frequency. This is the best. I mean, you always think whatever you're doing now is the best, but I really feel like my recovery is good, and if I want to push it, I'm able to push it without much repercussions. So yeah, let's get to the next set. And yeah, guys, this is a simple workout with the kettlebells. I really like that triceps extension. Feels amazing with the kettlebells. Just trying to get enough depth. Again, I'm not focusing on a lockout, just because the gains are in the eccentric or eccentric, and at the bottom, or the lengthened position of the muscle. But again, just go as deep as you can while maintaining your joint integrity. Obviously, don't go deeper than what you can handle. But what I suggest is forget the full ROM. Not forget it, but when you're starting, you want to go through full ROM, I think, just to get a feel of the movement, the full range of motion, even the top. But when you're focused on hypertrophy, there's really no need to push it. There's no need to go full lockout. You're not getting much muscle. The tension is gone. But it's not even about the constant tension. It's just about going slow and as deep of a stretch as you can to lengthen the muscle, and then coming back up. Whatever move you're doing, the bottom is different. Like if you're doing back, the lengthened position isn't here; it's at the top, right? So with chest is the opposite. Lengthened position is at the bottom of the movement. It just depends on the muscle, but you get the terminology. I'm just trying to say lengthen the muscle, and that's where the gains are. This is based on a recent science, but also based on my experience and following a lot of people and watching a lot of different bodybuilders. You know, a lot of bodybuilders think about constant tension, and they think, they don't, at least their rationale for not locking out is they want to keep the tension on a muscle, which might be true, but I think what's happening here when I watch them train, by not locking out, they're focusing more on the eccentric. They're focusing more on bringing it down. And even though a lot of them skip on that full bottom range, they're still not wasting effort locking out, which I used to do a lot back in the days on a bench press, especially with my long arms. How much effort does it take for me to lock out? A lot of effort. I'm taking it out to lock out. At the top, there's no tension on the muscle, but I'm still wasting time and effort locking out when I could be focusing on a muscle more. So even though the rationale might not be scientific, just from watching a lot of the successful bodybuilders, of course I'm cherry picking the body, but this is a general thing I used to notice was a lot of the, enhanced big bodybuilders. You can discredit them and say, yeah, they were using steroids. That is true, but anyways, they got maybe the steroids even accelerated the effect of seeing what works. So you can't discard everything they say, but just from observation, maybe some of the things they were doing had a legitimate place in training, even if the rationale isn't really what was happening. Anyway, guys, let's get to the forearms. I'm talking more than I'm working out in the session. It's hard to focus on both, but this is fine. I don't need extreme high intensity. So this is let me just try this move here that I've seen arm wrestlers do. They'll go like this, and then, I've seen, what's his name? Our Canadian guy, Devin Larat. I don't know how to say his name, but yeah, I've seen him do this. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Probably not. I do feel something happening. I've seen other arm wrestlers also do this. Again, not again. Arm wrestlers are notorious for their forearms and arms in general. Of course, it's another enhanced sport, so guys, don't forget the enhancement makes a difference. It really makes a huge difference whatever you're doing. But we can learn a lot from them. Alright, guys. That felt pretty decent. I definitely had bigger forearm when I focused on grip strength and forearm training, and when I was deadlifting back in those days. Forearms were bigger, traps were bigger, neck was thicker. But now that I stopped doing all the deadlifting, a lot of the gains go with it, like a lot of those forearm specific, but I'm not trying to get those body parts to grow. Again, you only have so much training time. You can't focus on everything. You can't just you it's like you have resources and you want to allocate them in the muscles you want to see the most gains. And I'm more focused on the other body parts. Plus right now I'm cutting, so not much muscles gains is happening. Anyways, let's get to the next question here. So, how much do you bench and what are your PRs? I don't bench anymore. I really haven't benched. Maybe last time I benched was a year ago. Let's get to this set. So yeah, last I benched was about a year ago, and I think I did 225 for about, I can't remember exactly. I'll have to check. I'll have to check the logbook. But anywhere between 10 and 12 reps, or maybe 8 and 12. I can't remember exactly. I think I was able to get maybe 9, or maybe I got to 11. I can't remember. Between 8 and 12 reps for sure. That was last year when I came back to benching. My PR for like a 1 rep max, when I was younger, first year I started, I was close to 315. Then I got a shoulder injury and I couldn't really quite get to 315. I would be benching 305 for a double. And this is with really long arms. Like I have longer arms than average, at least for my frame. So yeah, longer arms make it much harder. And I felt really good about the bench. I got good chest gains from the bench. I used to go wide and get a full stretch. So I got really good gains and I stimulated my chest for sure using bench press. I know some guys say the bench press sucks for chest. I find guys with shorter arms, actually, the bench doesn't work as well for them. They seem to blow up their triceps. I mean, blow up in a good way, like gain muscle mostly on their triceps and arms when they're doing bench and other body parts, but their chest isn't that developed. For me, maybe also because I used a wider grip and I would just go full all the way down on a stretch. But with longer limbs, it is harder to bench. So yeah, that was my worst move, my like weakest. You know, pushing strength isn't my strongest point, especially if I'm going full ROM, like I said before. So yeah, 305 for a double was my best, and for higher reps, 225 for 12, and that was recent. But I don't know. I don't feel the need to do bench anymore. Squat. My best squat was 405 for a double. Yeah, that was it. Maybe I could go a bit more, but this is what I could do back then. I haven't squatted since then, so this is like from when I was maybe before I had the lower back injury. Since then, I really haven't. Every time I would try squatting since then, especially like the years after, I would always try to come back to those moves. But yeah, just didn't work out. I'm gonna show you the squatting form that I have with longer limbs. So here's what happens. I'm not sure if you can see me from this angle, but let me just try this. So here's what would happen with the squatting, okay? Check this out, guys. With my longer limbs, I would be following a lot of the power lifters, right? And the way they would tell you to squat is, you know, push your hips back, sit back, go wider, and then picture there's a barbell and you're going down to here. But look what's happening with my longer limbs. Because my femur is long, I have a longer femur, and the longer femur, shorter torso. My torso is pretty short. What this does is I start leaning forward. I don't squat if I had shorter limbs, if my femur was shorter and my torso was longer, I'll be able to squat more upright. But I pretty much have the worst mechanics for squatting. So what ends up happening is a good morning at the bottom. Unless I push out my knees, I don't know if you guys follow the knee over toe guy, whatever, knees over toes. So if I was squatting this way, I'll be able to do a better squat, probably with heels elevated, which is what I do now. And I do have, I'll show you, I have the prime wedges here. I got them for a really good deal. Let me just show you right now. So I have two of these prime wedges, and check them out, guys. Real prime wedges. They're made out of metal. So this is 20 degrees, and if I was to use the wedges, my squat suddenly would start looking much, much better, and I'm able to stay more upright. So this is what I would suggest if you don't have the mechanic for it. Of course, I mostly do machines now, with pendulum squat being my favorite. But if you don't have access to machines, definitely get wedges, or at least put a plate underneath your heels. But back then, we were trying to replicate a lot of what the powerlifters were doing. We didn't really think about mechanics. It didn't really cross my mind that I wasn't built for squatting, but I still kept pushing it. And I think that's the reason why I end up with some lower back issues, which, by the way, they're fully fixed. So I fully resolved them. Check out my videos a few pages back about lower back problems. But yeah, so that's that. And yeah, let's do another set. Oh yeah, deadlift. So deadlift, my max deadlift, I was probably really well built for a deadlift. So deadlift was definitely my favorite move. My max was, with my longer limbs, I think I was like, maybe if my femur were shorter, I'll be perfect deadlifter, but I was pretty close to it. I could do 5 plates each side, a bit more. So around 495, probably crossing 500 if I could. So it's just 505 maybe, or something. Like I can just put a tiny plate there and add on. But yeah, close to 500 is my max. And I didn't even, back then we trained for like power building, so that wasn't purely powerlifting. I was still going for different moves. I would just start with compound move, try to get like a PR with lower reps, and then go back up to like 8 reps, and then 20 reps finisher, and then we went on to the more bodybuilding moves and still kept going. That's how we used to work out. I wouldn't recommend it nowadays if you're starting. There's just, we didn't have access to a machine we have, guys. We didn't have access to all those crazy new machines at the gym. We didn't have those brand names like Atlantis, Prime, and all the newest gadgets. Not gadgets, like all the newest machines. We just didn't have access. We had like Life Fitness and Hammer Strength, and honestly, they just didn't feel good. They felt okay for accessory move or second or third move, but you never could start doing Hammer Strength. You couldn't just start your workout with a hammer strength. It just felt off. You need to have your bench press and start with a bench, then move on to the hammer strength. Okay, guys, gonna go to the next question here. Why don't you squat and deadlift? Yeah, I've sort of covered this. There's better alternatives. There's just better alternatives.